Artflow has just released a new upscaler on their platform. You can now create high-resolution images with you as the star. For months, I've been using third-party tools to accomplish this. When I use other tools, they only have the data in the image to work from. They upscale based on what they think the image looks like. Using an internal tool has the advantage of knowing the original prompt and the intent of the design. We're gonna see if this upscale is more like Midjourney's subtle or their creative upscale. Is it just enlarging the image or actually repainting it with new details? Every upscale costs 30 Artflow credits. Let's go find out if you should hit that upscale button or save your credits. Artflow upscales cost 30 credits, but what does a credit cost? The new starter plan from Artflow is $8 a month and it comes with 300 credits. That means each individual credit is worth 2.6 cents. The cheapest credits are with the annual Pro plan, which is $20 a month and includes 1,000 credits. On this plan, an individual credit is worth 2 cents. This means that the cheapest credits are 2 cents each and the most expensive credits are about 2.7 cents each. Each upscale on Artflow costs between 60 and 81 cents. Let's compare costs with ClipDrop, a tool that I use often. The price for ClipDrop is $11 to $15 a month if you go for a monthly or an annual pro level plan. They only have one plan, so that makes it very easy to do the math. Every 24 hours, you get 100 smooth upscales and 10 detailed upscales. Let's just assume the detailed upscale is what we want. You get 300 per month for $15 at the most expensive end of the spectrum. That's 5 cents per upscale instead of 60. That's a lot cheaper. Additionally, Artflow credits are finite. When I use a credit for an upscale, I can't use that to make a video or do anything else on Artflow. ClipDrop has different limits for each activity, and it's only a cut the line fee. I can still upscale at a slower price even if I go past my 10 per day limit. Now that we have a sense of the cost of an upscale from Artflow, let's take a look at Midjourney and see what the results are from their different types of upscaling and enhancements. This is an unenhanced image from Midjourney. This is a raw file. This is what you get when you first generate an image without upscaling or enhancing. It's 1.8 megabytes and it's 1536 by 768 pixels. We have a woman standing in front of a conference. It looks really nice. There are 2 different ways we can upscale inside of Midjourney, creative and subtle. Let's see the difference. When we upscale using subtle, we get a file that's 8 megabytes and it's now 372 by 1536. So it has 4x the size of the image. With subtle, we have the exact same image, just enhanced. There are no changes. It's like a zoom in or an expanding of the image. This is really the more basic and more common level of an enhance. This is what you'll get with most third-party tools. The real magic and the value of using an internal tool happens when we use creative. Look at the difference very carefully here. We have the exact same dimensions, but this is 7.8 megabytes, it's slightly smaller. When we choose creative with Midjourney, we're doing more than increasing the size of the image. Midjourney actually repaints the entire image, so you'll see a lot more changes to the image. Her expression changes, her eyes move slightly. We see some differences in the overall image, and it really depends what you're looking for. I will often create both versions of these to decide which upscaled image I want to use. I really like that Midjourney gives me both very quickly, and I can make a quick decision. The creative is what's really special. Subtle, as I'll show you in a moment, is what a lot of other tools are able to generate. Let's zoom in a little more and compare them again. Here's the raw image. If you look closely, especially if you have a 4K screen, you'll notice some artifacting around her hair and the edges on the side of her face. Let's upscale with the subtle. It's the exact same image, just a little bit more precise. It's almost like bringing the image into focus. If we go with creative, the picture changes pretty significantly. The light changes behind her slightly, her expression changes. It's a high quality image, and this is most of the time probably what you're looking for. And this is the real magic of the creative upscale inside of Midjourney. Now let's take a look at what Artflow's internal upscale actually does to an image. Here's a raw image of me sitting on a chair wearing a crown for a thumbnail for a video about the perfect prompt or the king of prompts. This image comes from Artflow. It's a PNG, it's 1.2 megabytes, and it's 1152 pixels by 768. If we upscale inside of Artflow, we get a new image that's 4.5 megabytes, 2304 pixels by 1536. Let's go back again. What Artflow is doing is doubling rather than 4xing, so it's a 2x upscale. How much does the image look different to you? Let's go back again. Original, upscale. When I look at these two images, I can't really detect a difference with my eyes. If I have a giant 4K monitor, if I look at these two images on my 50-inch television, maybe I'll be able to see the difference, but I don't see a major difference between the original and the upscale because it's a 2x, not a 4x. Now we're going to compare Topaz Gigapixel, the tool that I use to upscale the most. You pay for the license one time and it's a really good price. And you can upscale as much as you want. You're not paying per upscale because you're using your computer's resources. At most, when your updates expire after a year, you can pay for another year of updates. I went a few months between my last batch of updates before I paid for the second year. I waited for a sale to grab the second year of updates, and I didn't really notice any drop in quality during that time period. So you can get away with probably going a really long time between updates and getting new versions because it gives a really great result. Let's take a look at what comes when we do Topaz. Topaz does a 4x upscale instead of a 2x. We ended with 21.4 megabytes. So this is the largest size file we've created so far. It's 4,608 by 3,072. So both dimensions have gone up by 4x. And let's go back and forth again because this is the best way to look. Here's the Topaz Gigapixel image, and here's Artflow. If you take a moment to look closely at my left hand, this is the most important part of the picture. There's something wrong in the middle knuckle, right around here, if you look very closely on the hand, that has a black triangle. Let's look at it Topaz, and then let's look at it again in Artflow. In Artflow, the triangle is a little bit better, but it's still there. This is what I was really looking for. And the other area where Artflow has kind of let me down is in the crown and in the jewelry. One of the biggest differences I notice between a creative and a subtle upscale inside of Midjourney is that it will redraw the jewelry. So the jewelry will come out looking much better. When you enhance jewelry, you get this effect you see here where the crown, if you look closely, it's not high resolution. Same thing with the necklace and the badge. I'm not even sure exactly what the badge is supposed to be. I can't tell if it's a pirate skull or if it's a bee. This is a good image, but the internal upscale to me didn't make that much of a difference when I look at Topaz and when I look at Artflow. The Topaz picture, especially the jewelry, it's slightly more in focus. It's a little bit more crystallized. I still can't tell what it is, but it does pop a little bit more. Earlier, I talked about Clip Drop. It's another tool that I have a subscription for, mostly because I use their relighting tool, which I've covered in previous videos, and I like their uncropping tool. When I use their smooth upscale, it creates a 4x, gives me a 10.7 megabyte image. That's 4,608 by 3,072 pixels. So we can upscale again another way. We still have that little black triangle on my finger. It doesn't look significantly different to me to Topaz, but let's take a look at their more expensive 10 per day detailed upscale. Get the same size image, 10.7 megabytes, 4,608 by 3,072 pixels. I don't know that it looks that different. Let's compare the two clip drop images again. This is the faster and this is the slower. These enhanced tools can only take Artflow's original image so far, and this is how far they took them. Thank you so much for watching one of my videos. Hit the like button, and then I've got a couple of sweet videos that I think you're gonna like. I've got one here and another one over here. You're gonna love them.